This video shows how to load supplies on the i7500 printer peel configuration model using manual label rolls. If you are using i75 series smart rolls or the standard configuration i7500 printer, please refer to the other video on the Brady website. The unique print modes of the peel configuration printer also require some unique components and accessories that we'll point out now. First is the built-in peel module on the front of the printer that contains a peel door which opens and internal pinch rollers. Also installed is a smooth edge peel bar. Since two of the modes of the peel printer involve taking up liner or material in the back, there's also an internal take-up spindle toward the back of the printer that is unique to this configuration. Separately in the box with the printer are several accessories which are needed for various modes, which we'll explain as we go through those modes later. Starting with the ribbon, slide the ribbon onto the supply spindle and center it. Make sure the ribbon is coming off the top toward the back. Following the hollow arrows on the back side of the printer, route the ribbon under the print mechanism over the dancer bar, through the print path and out the front, continuing to follow the arrows up over the silver wrinkle bar and attach it using the tabs to the take-up spindle. Turn the spindle several times until you've taken up the slack, increase some tension, and turn until there are no more wrinkles against the anti-wrinkle bar. Now, to install the label roll, make sure the label material is coming off the top of the roll for labels. Slide the roll onto the media hanger, arc the flange up, and close it together, centering the roll. Following the solid white arrows, feed the leading edge of the material down, under the print mechanism, under the dancer bar, forward in the print path until the leading edge is in the middle of the black rubber roller. You want to have a nice clean cut across here as well. Rotate the yellow knob to move the guides in until they are just touching the material edges, not too tight and not too loose. You will notice on the screen that the screen prompts you to select your roll type. If you are using a gapped, notched, continuous, or black mark material, tap the appropriate icon. In this case, we're using gapped material, so tap the gapped illustration, then next. Take note of where the green light is under your media supply and adjust the light to where the illustration indicates on the screen. Use the orange slider for large movements and the arrows at the ends for micro movements. Once positioned properly, tap Next. The next prompt asks you if you are printing thermal transfer or direct thermal. If selecting direct thermal, make sure there's no ribbon installed. In this case, we are printing a thermal transfer label. So tap thermal transfer, then Next. Now the printer will ask you which mode you intend to print in: tear off, peel, or internal rewind. We will have instructions for each of these options. If you would like to jump ahead to peel or rewind, note the times on the screen. We'll start with tear off, which is the quickest. Resuming on the print mode selection screen, to choose tear off mode, where there's no peeling and no internal rewind, simply tap tear off, tap Next, and close the print head. The printer will perform a short initialization, but unlike smart supply printing, we are using manual rolls. So at this point in time, you will always need to perform a quick label calibration by tapping Feed Calibrate on the home screen. This pushes out several blank labels and allows the printer's sensor to pick up the beginning and trailing edges of the label so it knows where to start and stop the print. If during the label calibration process you encounter this error message, tap Try Again to make sure you've made the settings correctly. If the error message appears again, you may need to do a full sensor calibration. In that event, Jump ahead in the video to the time indicated on the screen and follow the steps to clear the error message, and then return to this point in the video. Simply tear this material off, and the printer is ready to accept a standard print job. One additional comment about tear-off mode. The smooth edge peel plate can be used for tearing off simple paper liners between labels. If you have a thicker material or more difficult to tear material, you can replace it with a serrated edge tear plate specifically made for the peel model. Simply use the onboard T-wrench to loosen these two screws, slide the smooth edge plate out, insert the serrated plate, and tighten the screws. For peel and present mode, resuming from our select mode screen with our ribbon installed and our label roll installed with the leading edge up to the roller, we're going to select peel mode, but before moving on, make sure the accessories are installed for peel mode. The smooth edge peel plate needs to be in place and the peel door needs to be closed. And the 1.5-inch take-up spindle core needs to be applied to the internal take-up spindle. Just slide it on and push it until it stops. Now, tap peel mode and next. Then close the print head. This will initiate a peel setup wizard, and the first prompt will ask you if the material is fed back and attached to the take-up spindle. In this case, it is not, so we will select not attached. The next prompt asks you to feed some material out. Tap that. Two things will happen. One, the sensor is detecting the beginning and the ending edge of the label, so it knows the label size. So it is performing a label calibration during this process. It is also feeding out approximately 20 inches of material, which is long enough to reach back to the take-up spindle, which we'll do next. The pause during this process is normal. If during the label calibration process you encounter this error message, tap try again to make sure you've made the settings correctly. If the error message appears again, you may need to do a full sensor calibration. In that event, jump ahead in the video to the time indicated on the screen and follow the steps to clear the error message, and then return to this point in the video. Following the prompts on the screen, open the peel door, leaving the print head closed, feed the material behind the pinch roller under the lower small silver roller, and attach it to the take-up spindle. An extra label or some cellophane tape is handy for this. Make sure the material is fastened in the center of the spindle. Gently take up the slack. Tap next on the screen. Again, following the prompts, turn the take-up spindle counterclockwise to increase tension, and then close the peel door until it snaps into place. Tap next, and the printer will have you feed several labels out, and you'll remove each one. This creates a section of material where there's liner only going through the peel and the pinch roller assembly. If for any reason during this process a label does not peel and present, open the print head and start over. When done, tap the Done button and the printer is ready to accept a manual print job in peel mode. For internal rewind mode of printed labels, resuming from our select mode screen, we want to first make sure the right accessories are installed. 3 are required for this mode. First, the smooth edge peel plate needs to be in place and the peel door closed. Secondly, since rewind mode does take up material, install the 1.5-inch take-up core to the internal take-up spindle on the back. It simply slides on, push it until it stops. Lastly, this mode requires the curved rewind guide, which snaps into place on the front of the peel door. Orient the narrower end of the guide facing outward and snap it into place. Tap Internal Rewind on the mode screen, then Next. Then close the print head. Following the prompts on the screen, you will be asked if the material is already attached to the take-up spindle inside, which it is not, so tap Not Attached. and then tap Feed Calibrate. The printer will feed out 20 inches of material here. Serves two purposes. One, the sensor is detecting the leading and trailing edge of the label to make sure it understands the label size. So this is a label calibration. The labels feeding out also will be long enough so they automatically have enough links to feed back and attach to the take-up spindle. If during the label calibration process you encounter this error message, tap Try Again to make sure you've made the settings correctly. If the error message appears again, you may need to do a full sensor calibration. In that event, jump ahead in the video to the time indicated on the screen and follow the steps to clear the error message, and then return to this point in the video. Following the prompts on the screen, feed the material back around the curved rewind guide underneath the print mechanism and attach it to the take-up core. A spare label or cellophane tape comes in handy, and make sure the material is centered on the take-up core. Pull up the tension gently and tap Next. And now tap Done. Printer is now ready to accept a manual print job for internal rewind mode. If during one of the three modes, the label calibration process displays this error message, again, try first to check your settings by hitting the Try Again button. It's very simple. It'll take you through two screens to double check to make sure you've moved the sensor to the right location. If the message persists, you may require a more thorough sensor calibration that is specific to an installed material. This can sometimes happen for low opacity materials or materials where there's a very low differential between the liner and the label. Tap the sensor calibration button. The following prompts are very similar regardless of the print mode that you are in. Only minor differences occur. Follow the prompts on the screen. For this example, we will show the prompts used in peel mode. Open the printhead, following the prompts on the screen. If any material is attached to the internal rewind spindle, be sure to remove it at this time. If not, tap the Next button. Verify the type of roll that you have installed, continuous, notched, black mark, or gapped. We're using gapped. Tap Next. Ensure the green light under your material is in the correct location per the illustration on the screen. In this case, we want the green light to be under the center of a label. Use the orange slider for large movements and the arrows on the end for micro movements. Tap Next when you've located the sensor properly. The wizard now will take you through the steps of taking sensor readings of the label and the solo liner. Leaving the roll in place, slide the material backwards until the leading edge of the material is in the black rubber roller, and then close the printhead. Tap Next. The printer does a short initialization just to verify its leading edge location. Now, open the printhead and remove 3 to 4 inches worth of labels to expose blank liner. Slide the material back until the green light is directly beneath empty liner. Close the printhead and tap Next. The printer takes a reading of the liner value only. It is normal for there to be no sound or movement during that step. Open the printhead. Leaving the roll in place, just slide the material forward until the green light is directly beneath a label. Close the printhead and tap Next. Again, the printer now takes a reading of the liner plus the label, and no sound, no movement is normal. Open the printhead. Cut off the exposed empty liner. Slide the material back until the leading edge is right over that black rubber roller and close the printhead. Tap Next. Now, once again, open the print head so you don't waste the material. Slide it back so that leading edge is over the roller. And now tap Feed Calibrate, and the printer will double check its settings and perform a label calibration. If successful, you'll be prompted to tap OK, tear the material off. If successful, you'll be returned to the setup wizard for peel at the place where you left off. And again, since we are no longer attached, you will tap Not Attached and continue with the peel setup wizard. To return to where you were in the instructions in the video, move backward to the time indicated on the screen. If the error message for the sensor recalibration continues, contact Brady Tech Support for assistance.